Well, didn't I find a touchy subject? It's Skywarp72, Cruizers Motorsports Gaming, back at it for more Horizon 3 shenanigans.
Evil shenanigans.
I swear to God, I'll pistol whip the next guy that says shenanigans.
Hey, Farva, what's the name of that restaurant you like with all the goofy shit on the walls and the mozzarella sticks? You mean shenanigans? No!
And this week, I have had hours of amusement stirring the pot in my Horizon Facebook groups, asking the perilous question, why is the V-12 swap in Horizon such a touchy subject? Let me backtrack a bit to a comment that was posted on my top 10 terrible things about FH3, the link is here. He commented basically, well, he insulted me for swapping the V-12 into a new Charger. This Charger is an S1 tune by my friend Honest Dan. I highly recommend it for Goliath. Anyways, that comment made me realize how many times I've seen that V-12 swap argument before in my Horizon Facebook groups. Me not being an avid drag racer, I didn't really pay them any mind, until I saw this gentleman's comment, who apparently even had an issue with me using it in an off-road circuit race. And it got me wondering, is the use of the V-12 looked down upon in circuit and drifting as well? Well, I'm sure many of you will comment in the section below, and please do, I'm very curious to see. The controversy seems to revolve around the drag racing scene, which seems to be almost as active as the drifting, and certainly more popular than the circuit racing nowadays. My point? There is no shortage of players who either swear by the V-12 or want it completely removed from the game as it is the bane of their existence.
You merely adopted the dark. I was born in it, molded by it. I didn't see the light until I was already a man.
So, the culprit, the lowest common denominator in this, is the V-12 swap Dodge Dart. Goes for $125,000 in the game, okay. So, the motor swaps for this are interesting. It looks like the first engine is the Viper V10. Second is the Lamborghini or Ferrari V12, whichever one you're saying that it is, adding 275 horsepower over the stock engine. And the last one, I'm assuming, is the 426 Hemi, the aluminum one, which adds 282 horsepower, 7 more than the Lambo. But putting in the V12 and just one upgrade, and we are already over 1,000 horsepowers.
Fascinating.
So, being the pot stirrer I am, let's take a look at the pros and cons of this swap, as prescribed by Horizon Facebook groups. I want it to be known that none of these opinions are my own, and they have been taken right from the aforementioned Facebook groups. It's not often I ride the fence like this, but I am not an avid drag racer, so I don't race every day with this dilemma. In other words, I'm not going to pretend I have the answers to this, since I specialize in circuit racing and not drag. I'm leaving that up to the specialists. However, the argument was too good to pass up, and the drag racers have my respect, as it still takes tuning and driving skill to be competitive. Moving on. It's not classified information that every Forza game, Motorsport or Horizon, has leaderboard cars. What is a leaderboard car, you ask? Go to any leaderboard for any discipline, drag, drift, circuit. The car most widely used in the top, say, 100 spots is the leaderboard car. This is the car that the physics of the game favors over others for reasons like power to weight ratio, PI tricks, shorter wheelbases, or the development team just seems to have a fanboy on it. Regardless of the reason, both your tuning and driving skills must be up to par if you defeat these cars on the boards or in a lobby with something different. That being said, any leaderboard car requires a great tune to get into the top 100, be it your own tune or one that's downloaded. It still takes a measure of driving skill. Don't want to use a leaderboard car? I respect that as well, because I'd love the challenge in doing so. So, the V-12 swappers are winning the majority of the races, and we all like to win, so it's easy to figure out why they prefer to race that way. The argument for running the swap was surprisingly small, because why change something when it's perfect? V-12 swaps still require tuning. The V-12 is a beast. It's like Bo Jackson is driving the damn thing, and you're shooting threes at the same time with the Game Genie putting in codes with the NES Advantage. Whew, very descriptive. I like that one. The argument against is certainly more popular, as way more parties came forward to voice their opposition. In my opinion, the V-12 separates the men from the boys, because it's overused, sounds like crap in cars it's not supposed to be in, and is only used by little kids or noobs who don't know how to race a real car. This one I can kinda understand, as in Motorsports it's a little off-putting to lose a race to a low level with a leaderboard car and tune. However, that's when I revisit the tune and step up. I never talk crap to another player unless they wreck me to win. Well, seriously anyway. In drag racing, however, on FH3, it seems to be a slightly different story as the V-12 swap is so over-dominant, and only the super tuners can overcome it. Another thing I find interesting is this. When it comes to the real-life car world, out-of-this-world engine swaps are all the rage right now in sites like YouTube and Car Throttle. Also immensely popular is the GM LS engine swap in everything from RX-7s to Ford Mustangs. Anything that has an off-the-wall swap is a big hit at car shows and car meets. So my question to the purists, if it is realism that you're after from the real car world, doesn't the swap represent the cutting edge of the custom car scene? And just to play devil's advocate, my question to the V-12 users, do you build and tune anything else for drag racing purposes? And if you do, how successful are you? Stirring the pot, it sure is fun. While everyone's discussing the Dodge Dart and other V-12 swaps, I'm still over here like, I just want Motorsport to include a Chevy Beretta GTU or Indy. Come on, Turn 10, work with me. Okay folks, light up that comment section with your take on the V-12 swap, or any swap that you have an opinion about. Or just say hi, or drop the recipe for chocolate chip cookies. Just please, keep it respectful as these are our fellow racers we are talking to. Don't forget to smash that like button, share the video with your friends so they can comment more opinions, and most all, subscribe to the channel for all that is Forza and my real racing coming up on Homestead, Miami, April 22nd and 23rd. Oh, and on one final side note, while I'm very appreciative to all the invites to play FH3, I've pretty well made the switch back to FM6 as the circuit racing lobbies in FH3 grow smaller every day. If I'm on, chances are I'm not going to be on FH3 too much. But again, thank you very much guys for the invites. This is Skywarp72. I'll see you next week.